Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us midday today. I'm Dr. Monica Powell. I'm the Senior Associate Dean and Graduate Dean here at the Jindal School, and we would like to welcome you aboard as new entering students for spring 2022. So I know that all of you that are watching are thinking about, oh my gosh, enrollment's going to happen, and what am I going to enroll in? And we're all excited about having you here. So this webinar is to help you do that, to understand how to enroll yourself in spring 2022 classes, and then to answer a bunch of questions that you have about the process, the procedure, policies, rules, those kind of things. Now I have a team that's here to help me today to answer those questions for you. I'm going to turn it over to the first person on that team, which is Corina Cantua. She is the Director of Advising Operation. She's going to go through a lot of what seem like technical things, but then we're going to come back and answer oodles of questions. So please feel free to put questions into the chat. Corina, you want to take it over?
Definitely. Thank you, Dr. Powell. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So as Dr. Powell said, we're here to essentially help you get started. Registration for spring semester is not that far away. It's just next month. So we know that you're getting ready to enroll, and preparation is our #1 goal. So we want to show you the items that you can do starting now to start preparing for that registration for your spring semester. All right, with that, we'll go ahead and jump right in, going to the next slide. So the first thing that we want to cover is the academic calendar. So the academic calendar is going to be something that's available to you each semester. So from this point forward, you can look at the academic calendar to get the information on the most important dates for that semester. And some of them have been highlighted on this slide, like when classes begin, which would be January 10th, classes end April 28th. But then it also shows you the end of registration. The start of registration is actually based on an individual enrollment appointment. Although I want to clarify, that's the label that's in the system, but it's not an actual appointment. It is really just a date and time when you can actually start enrolling in classes. And if you look on this academic calendar page for spring, it notes that for web registration, the enrollment date was made available to you on October 18th. So that means that it's something you can already see, and I would encourage you to go ahead and log into your student center and view that, so that you know that from that point on, you can start enrolling in your spring classes. All right. The other thing I wanted to point out about the academic calendar is that it's something that you should either print out and have as part of your books, or however you organize yourself for the semester. It should be part of that, something that is very handy that you can very quickly access. You can bookmark the calendar on your phone. You can add those dates to your own calendar. However it is that you organize your semester, the academic calendar should be one of those things that are very easy to access, because a lot of those dates are important that you cannot miss. The last thing on the academic calendar is that there is a page 2 to the academic calendar that deals with payment information. I believe it was just recently published, so if you go in and pull up the spring 22 calendar, you'll be able to see a page 2 that then tells you when do you have to pay for your classes once you register for the spring. And that's the same each semester. So again, make sure that you're aware of the academic calendar and the dates that are on there, and make that something that you have every semester. All right. Okay, so now let's go to the next slide and cover the next item. So of course, once you want to register, you need to figure out, well, what is it that I'm going to register in? One important thing to note is that all of the degree requirements come from the catalog. So catalog.utdallas.edu is a place that you should go and explore. You don't have to memorize what's in the catalog, but it is another thing that you should bookmark and just be familiar with searching, clicking around. You'll be able to go within the Navin Jindal School of Management and then your master's program, and then get the details of what you are required to complete as a student in your particular graduate program. You are looking at the 2021 academic catalog, because a catalog, it actually goes through an academic year. So the catalog that was published for fall 21 is also going to be the catalog for students who start in spring 22, which would be you, and then students who start in summer 22. All right, so it's the same catalog. Any student who starts fall, spring, summer will follow the same catalog. One of the notes on this slide is the required course of MAS 6102. That is an important program prerequisite for a master's student. So, keep in mind that you would have to register in that class. There is possible a waiver for that. So if you do believe that maybe you could be waived from that class, let us know. We can definitely look into that for you. The second item on this thing is a reminder. As a graduate student, you do have a minimum required GPA of a 3.0 in what is called your core. So when you look in the catalog and you look at your course requirements, you'll see a section labeled core. Those courses have to average out to a 3.0 GPA. All of your courses within your degree program have to average to a 3.0, and then overall, including your prerequisite, you have to have a 3.0. So the magic number is 3.0 minimum, okay? If you do not maintain that 3.0 GPA, you may end up being dismissed from the program. So it's very important that you keep that in mind. The third thing on the slide is the fact that we will create what we call a degree plan. And it's essentially an Excel spreadsheet that we're going to provide to you. And what it does is it takes the information from the catalog and it allows us to just organize it in a way that's a little bit easy to follow and easy for you to track what you have completed and what you still have pending. That's the document that we use in our office to kind of, keep up and check in with how well you're moving along in your program. But it's also a copy that we would provide to you so that you can do the same. So it's a working tool. And then the last thing is, with questions of what should I take? Is it good for me to start with my core? Should I do electives? The program, all programs have program directors and program coordinators, and they have probably already started reaching out to you with information on course registration, their recommendations of what courses you should start with, how you should go about deciding what you want to enroll in. So please make sure to start paying attention to your emails through your UTD email account to take advantage of the information they provide in an email or information they provide in events and webinars that they offer. Not only this first semester, it's going to be the same thing. They're going to keep in touch with you moving forward all the way up to graduation. All right. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. I'm going to very quickly show you how the Orion Student Center is going to look for you now that you're a current student. To get there, it's going to be the same thing as when you had an application. You would go into Galaxy and go into your Orion Center. If you go to the main page, utdallas.edu, there's a new resources link, and the Galaxy login is available there. You log in with your NetID and password, just like you do when you were an applicant. If you are having any issues with logging into the system, please reach out to the OIT help desk. You can just search that within the UTD page, or you can follow the link here. But essentially, they will be the ones to kind of help you troubleshoot any technical difficulties you may have logging into the system. All right, so now let's say you logged in. Let's go to the next slide so that you can see the view. So make sure that you change, there's an applicant center, and when you log in, it may default to your applicant center. So make sure that you change that to the UTD student center like it shows here, because then this way you're going to see the tiles and all these little boxes, we call them tiles, the tiles that apply to you now as a current student. We're gonna, you can click on all of those, find out what information is within them. But right now we want to cover two of the main tiles that are going to play a part each semester as you plan to register. The first one is on the next slide, and it's what's called the tasks tile. So the university uses this tile as a way to communicate with you. If there's anything pending, anything that you need to do in order to register, they maybe have a hold on there that you need to take care of. For this first semester, the university is going to allow the hold to be pushed out or pushed back to allow you to register. One of the holds you may have on your account is any missing documents. When you applied, you probably applied using unofficial transcripts. So now we need for you to submit official transcripts to complete your current student file. If you have not done that already, you may see that type of hold on your account, but that's what's going to be pushed back so that you can still register. Now, if you are ready to send in your transcript, please do. There's no reason to delay it. But if it's going to take you a little bit longer, that's okay. The hold is going to be pushed back. It won't impact your first semester registration, but then it's going to come back and be in place by the first day of classes in the spring. And you have to make sure that you submit it because it will create issues moving forward. Okay, so take a look at this, make sure that everything there is accounted for. And this is true for every semester. If there's any hold that you have on your account and it's pending, you need to make sure you take care of it, or else you won't be able to do registration. All right, so then let's go to the next slide and look at what the Manage My Classes tile. So this is going to be the one that you probably go in to the most during the registration time. You'll see a lot of the topics or items that you can cover within that tile on the right hand side of this slide, including with schedule planner. It kind of shows you a variation of how you can organize your courses once you know which ones you're going to register in. You'll see the add, the swap, the drop classes. And then you also see the class search. So this is where you can go in there and figure out what time is a particular course being offered, who's teaching it. All of the details of that would be within this tile. And then I mentioned earlier the enrollment appointment, and you'll see that one of the options within this tile is view enrollment appointment. So this is one of the things you need to do is go in here, take a look at that so that you know what day and time you can start registering. And as a reminder, it's not an actual appointment, it is an enrollment date. So you don't actually have to meet with anybody at that day and time. It just says from this point forward, you are eligible to register in the spring 22 semester. All right, okay, so now let's go to the next slide and just give you some final reminders before we start the questions. So when you start working with us, now that you're a current student, you are required to do so through your UTD email account. When we reach out to you with information, when the program or Dr. Powell, if there's any reason for her to reach out, she will be doing it via the UTD email account. So you have to now start making sure that you're logging in and checking your UTD email on a daily basis if possible, or several times a week, to make sure that it does not pile up and you don't miss an important email. The university, this is the way that we can communicate with you. So it's important that it is up to date and that you pay attention to the emails that you receive. And then the next thing is just a clarification. Now your UTD ID is a student ID, right? That's your official way for us to find you in the system, but it's not something that you need to share with us. It is something that you need to keep kind of safe, keep it to yourself. If you do need to email us and you need to notify us and help us find you in the system, instead of sending your UTD ID, send your net ID. And the net ID is the 3 letters and the 6 numbers that follow it, the same thing that you use to log into any UTD system. We would use that. We can use that to locate you without needing any information on the UTD ID. Okay, so no UTD ID, but if you do, please send us your net ID. That just helps us locate you in the system. All right, so I covered two main things and very quickly, but there's a lot of information that we put on our pages. We actually also created some very quick videos that you can see for all of the items that we see as important in preparation for registration. So just go ahead and take a look. It won't take that long. We made sure that we're as quick and short as possible, but that it kind of contained the information of a step-by-step to get you what you need for registration. And so you'll find them on within our School of Management page, advising, and then registration. All right, okay, so now let's go to our next slide. There may be a little delay on my end. I don't see the next slide just yet. There we go, I see it. There you go. So for questions, once you look at the information, once we finish this webinar, if you still have any additional questions, please feel free to send us an email. Our email is jsomgradvising@utdallas.edu. And then we also want to point out that we do have a team of colleagues who actually man the JSOM question desk. And this is available to you as a live chat function. They have a lot of expertise in a lot of different areas. So if you want to chat with us, please go ahead and try out our JSOM question desk. We will also help you out through that function. All right, and I think that's all I have, Dr. Powell. So if you want to jump into any questions we can answer this afternoon, we're ready.
Well, thank you so much, Corina. That was quick and snappy, so thank you for doing that. We are recording this webinar and we will post it out on our YouTube channel for the Jendal School. We will also be sending you an email with a link to the video, which makes it really easy for you to go back out and watch it again or scan through it to the things that you might have missed during the live presentation. You know, there's a couple of things that I want to say before we get to really the stars of the show, which are all of our new incoming students who have questions. I just want to address a few things as an incoming graduate student. You know, you're getting a graduate degree, whether it's a management, science, finance degree, or business analytics, or ITM, or whatever it is. You're doing this most likely because you want it to have an impact on your future, on your career. So that means that as a new incoming student, you need to do something that I tell everybody all the time, which is to begin with the end in mind. You know, it might take you several years to complete the degree, and you probably already know that you have 72 months from the first course that you take that counts toward the degree until you graduate to complete it. So that means if work or life gets in the way, you can step out for a period and come back in and still have that full 6 years to complete the degree. But what that also means that as a new student coming in that wants to change their career trajectory and use the degree as a means to, you know, improve your tool set or give you knowledge in a new area or let you take a deep dive, you really need to think about now before classes start. What is it you want to do with this degree? What kind of position do you want to be qualified to apply for when you're done with the degree? So do that research now and look at job descriptions that might be on Indeed.com. Look at the kinds of skills, you know, do they require that you know Tableau? Do you need to know SAP? Do you need to know PERT charts and Gantt charts? What is it that you need to acquire during the course of your degree that's going to make you qualified? Then I encourage all of you, because you're not in school yet, you're just working full time and taking care of your family. So you've got time right now before classes start. Then go pop into the degree program webpage, where there is lots of information about the actual curriculum, the concentrations and tracks that are available in your degree program, and really start to understand and narrow which way you want to go. Do I want to be in the cybersecurity track in the information technology management program, or do I want to be in the business analytics track? You know that if you have figured out where you want to take your career. So try to do some of that legwork early. Educate yourself through the degree program webpage. Also, you can go to the catalog, the university's catalog, and you can look for the 2021 catalog. Go in there and look at the degree program. You can see all the course descriptions. You can see all the tracks listed, all the courses required for each track. The more you do some of your own legwork and homework, and the more you think about what you want to do, the more you're going to get out of the whole enrollment process. It's going to be a lot easier and a lot less taxing. You don't want to defer these choices to your program director because they're not going to choose for you. You have to kind of choose some of these things yourself. So after you go to the degree program web pages, after maybe you go look at the catalog, maybe you go into something called Coursebook and look at previous syllabi so you can kind of dig into what the courses are, read course descriptions. Then there are going to be some program webinars that are going to happen between now and the time you can register. Go to those. Your degree program people are experts. They can tell you all about what a job in this concentration looks like versus that concentration. They can answer a multitude of questions that you might have about what are the best courses for you to enroll in. This will make the enrollment process a lot easier. It will also increase the stress that you might have of choosing a course and not really knowing if that's the right course for you. So just want to throw that out there. We're going to talk a little bit more, and Norma will show you. She's our webinar engineer on the back side. She'll pull up some websites and show you where course book is, where you can look up courses. She'll show us where you can see the course descriptions, because you want to be in charge of your degree experience, and the more you own it as opposed to deferring it to somebody else to tell you, the less stressful it's going to be for you. So Norma, why don't we kick it off with some questions, because I know that there's a ton of questions out there.
Sure, we've got a lot of great questions. So the first one is, who will help me to figure out what classes I should take in my first semester?
Oh, that's a great first question. So again, you want to start by thinking about the job you may want to have. So go out to Indeed.com, go out to Monster, start exploring the kinds of jobs and careers you want when you're done with the degree. Then you want to go to the program degree pages and look it up on the degree page on jendal.com or jendal.utdallas.edu. Look at that. Then you want to make sure to pay attention to email to attend the webinar that your degree program director will hold in the next few weeks, where you can ask all the questions you want. Here is my background. Should I take X over Y? They're going to be able to answer a boatload of those questions. So really that is best answered by your degree program director. And also on the degree program web pages, you might see connections to current students or what they call our leadership advisory groups. These are experienced students who can answer questions for you. And sometimes they're called ambassadors, sometimes they're called advisory council members, but you're going to find all kinds of information out there that is going to be able to answer a lot of your questions. So Norma is showing you the business analytics website, and look, they have a leadership council there, and it gives you the ability to, you know, ask actual students questions, and you can find them. And if you scan just down a little bit, look, you can email Sumit, you can email Madhur, and a great way to get information on courses. So I think that helped. Thank you, Norma, for showing them that.
The next question is, what is the minimum number of classes I can take in a semester? What is the maximum? And I thought you could also share with them what our average student will enroll in for a semester.
So that is a great question. This webinar is specifically directed at our local students, our US LPR students, limited permanent resident students, who do not have a course requirement on them. So you can take as few as one course. You probably don't want to be working full-time and take more than 4. Even 3 is a lot if you're working full-time. I think the best measure is somewhere between 2 and 3 classes at a time, but we do have fully employed students who take less than that. You just have to manage getting the entire degree completed over the number of semesters you have in a 72-month or 6-year window.
Perfect. I do want to mention earlier in one of the slides, it mentioned where to log in for Galaxy, but I do want to note that in that same resources tab on the main website, there's a link to Coursebook, as well as a link to the academic calendar right above it. Our next question is, this is actually from an international student. If their visa is delayed, are they able to take classes online in the first semester?
So one thing I would encourage you, if you're an international student who is watching this webinar, I encourage you to send an email to jendal@utdallas.edu and let us send you the link for the international student webinar on enrollment that we did earlier today, because you will definitely want to watch that. International students are limited in the kinds of courses that they can take. They can only take 1 online class in their first semester, but you really want to go out and watch that international enrollment student, because we address some unique questions specifically for international students. So you're going to want to do that and send it to jendal@utdallas.edu, and we'll send you the link for that.
So I'm going to go ahead and put Corina on the screen because I think she might want to take this next one. This particular person, on the enrollment section in Galaxy, it says for this person a certain date as the start of appointment for regular academic session under the table enrollment appointment. However, under the table open enrollment date by session, it shows the regular academic session as November 22nd. So they're kind of wondering what's the difference between those two dates.
Sure. So I'll tell you, it sounds very confusing when you describe it, but basically when you go into the enrollment appointment section, it's a table. At the very top, it's going to list your assigned enrollment appointment, your day and your time at the top of that table. Then below it, it sort of gives you a summary of just general deadlines. Those don't really apply to you. Those are really just general information. Some of our non-degree seeking students have to abide by those. So you'll see like different dates listed within that, but those are just general information. Look at the top. At the top of that table, you'll see enrollment appointment, and it will have a date, and then it will have a time. There's a time that's linked to that. So make sure that you look at those two things, and it should be sometime during the second week in November, probably early November, of what that date should be. Yeah, so there's a lot of dates on there, but the bottom part are more of a summary and general information. The top one is what is the correct one, or the one that you should pay attention to.
Perfect. Thank you so much. The next question is for Dr. Powell. What is the possibility of steady career advising throughout their program?
So that's a really good question, and thank you for asking that. So we have a full-fledged career management center that is inside the Jindal School of Management. There are about 11 people, 12 people that work there. What's really cool about the people that work there is most of them come out of corporate HR and recruiting roles, so they really understand how it works inside of companies. They also have coaches that are available for you to meet with. We have a couple of designated people. You just have to reach out. If you get on the career management website, they also have a live chat function where you can, ask a question right off the bat and somebody will answer it. But generally speaking, a lot of the career advice that you get starts with your degree program director. These are people that have tremendous clinical experience, and so they can give you a real clear idea of, this is my background, this is what my expertise is now, this is what I hope to acquire, and this is my concentration. What does that best suit me for in terms of opportunities out there? The other thing that I would also tell any brand new incoming student is that you need to take advantage of what is beyond the class. We have, especially if you're in the IS area, we have a lot of highly energized student organizations where their mission is to connect students to employers. So they host a ton of career and employer panels, alumni panels, where you get a chance to kind of pop questions to them about, give me a day in the life of this job in, information technology management. Tell me a little bit about what a product manager does in marketing. So I strongly encourage students to not overload themselves with coursework such that they don't take advantage of engaging in student organizations, because that's where you can learn a lot of career stuff. Most of the knowledge that somebody gets in career comes out of you networking. So, we can talk to you about how to network, where to network. So many of our alumni who will network with you through Jindal Connect, which is like our LinkedIn platform for Jindal alums. But we also have the Career Center that conducts oodles and oodles of webinars on tweaking and growing your resume, improving your LinkedIn profile, enhancing your networking process, managing your online brand. So there's a lot of that available, and tons of resources for which you can access as well.
The next question is, what is the process for applying to be a graduate assistantship? And can I apply to be a graduate assistant only in JSOM or in other UTD schools?
Generally speaking, departments, faculty want to hire students that are in their own discipline. So I have never heard, I guess it happens occasionally that a student will be hired by another school on campus for a teaching assistantship. Generally speaking, no first semester students are ever hired in teaching assistantships. The faculty want to hire students that they know have performed academically very well in classes that the students will be doing teaching assistant roles with. We do have an employment website on the Jendal School website where you can just search for employment, and there is an app where you can apply. If you're looking for a position and you are a domestic student, not on any kind of a visa, and you don't have any working restrictions, you can start looking for, internships immediately. And that's a great way to get not only extra money to fund your education, but really good experience.
So speaking of internships, we have an international student who asked, in which semester are they eligible to begin an internship?
So I would say to that international student, again, send an email to jendal@utdallas.edu so we can send you a link to the international student enrollment webinar that we did this morning, and it will answer a bunch of specific questions with regard to when you are eligible. But it really depends upon what degree you are in if you are an international student. If you are in one of 5 degree programs that require an internship, which are business analytics, ITM, management science, marketing, and supply chain, if you take full loads, meaning you take 9 hours, 10 hours in the spring and another 9 next summer, you could be eligible next fall. But you have to have completed 18 hours to be eligible for an internship in those programs. In our other MS programs where it's not required, you would have to wait 2 long semesters, which means January of 2022. But that does not apply to a US student. The rules are a little different for them. But please do send us that email so we can send you the link to that webinar, because there's a lot of specific information in that webinar that is appropriate for international students and will be really helpful.
I'm going to go ahead and put the academic calendar back on the screen because our next question has to do with that. It's a 2-parter. What's the last day I can register? But also, once school starts on January 10th, can I swap my classes?
So I'm so glad somebody asked this question. And it's probably, do I really want to say it's the number one mistake that new students make is not understanding the academic calendar and the period for drop, add, and swap. So I'm going to, in a minute, turn it over to Corina to go into kind of the specific dates and kind of the rules around that. But one thing I want to tell students that are coming in is you really want to do your homework. If you enroll in a set of classes, go get on Coursebook and look at previous semester's syllabi to get a better idea of what's required in that class. What is the grading scale going to look like? How is my final grade going to be calculated? What topics are we covering? Because oftentimes students will say, well, I like the way this course sounds. I didn't really read the course description. I'm going to sign up for it. Then they want to go to 1 or 2 classes and suddenly they read the syllabus and they go, yikes, I don't like that this course only has 2 exams, or I don't like that this course is requiring 3 group projects, and then you've kind of put yourself in a corner where it's getting a little bit difficult and your number of days in order to make switches become short or nil. And then the other thing is other classes may be full, and then you're behind in the other classes you may swap toward. So Norma's done a great job of showing you Coursebook, and you can see that you can look at syllabi of the previous semester's course with the same number. It might not be being taught by the same faculty member, but at least it gives you an idea of what the course description is, what the learning objectives are, and generally speaking, the content that course is going to cover. So now I'm going to pop it over to Corina to really talk about the specifics on the academic calendar.
Sure thing. So so the academic calendar is on the website, on the screen, sorry, but definitely go in and download it because you're going to be able to easily see when registration ends. You'll see a date on there that says last day for regular registration, and that's January 6th. And that's a common thing. What you'll notice, it's usually at the end of the week before the semester begins will be the last day that is labeled as last day of regular registration. Then once classes start, you do still have an opportunity to make updates. So if you think, okay, I thought I was going to be able to Tuesday, I'm going to go and change it. I definitely concur with Dr. Powell. I encourage you to do your research ahead of choosing your classes. But if there's still a need for you to make changes, you can actually make changes during the first week. On the calendar, you'll find a date that says late registration and last date to add and swap for spring 22. That would be January 18th. Up until that date, you can still make modifications. Just note that it is late registration. So if you do make adjustments during that time, there may be a late fee that comes is added to your account. So yes, you still have a little bit of time, but please do as much preparation as you can ahead of time so that you don't have to be moving around once classes have started.
And while you are still here with us on the screen, I'm going to go ahead and pull up a screenshot that you shared with me about how the enrollment appointment looks, and if you kind of explain what they're looking at.
Yes, thank you for pulling that up because it is confusing. And I know when we described it, it sounded perhaps even more confusing. So I wanted to just share with you what it looks like. And those are the dates that the student who asked that question, you'll see all those dates on the bottom, November 1st, and then 22nd. Those are just general dates. You can probably line them up with dates that appear on the academic calendar. But for you specifically as the student, what you're looking for is what's at the top row where it says appointment begins. Then it has a date and a time. So that's when you can actually start registering. So the bottom is just information. Look at that top row, what the blue arrow is pointing at. That's going to determine when you can start enrolling in your courses for the spring. And then in future semesters, same thing, look for that date in that cell. Thank you, Norma.
You're welcome. Thank you. Our next question is, I'm going to go ahead and put Dr. Powell on the screen. As grad students, do we have to meet with an academic advisor in order to enroll in our classes?
Oh, such a great question, which is confused by the word enrollment appointment, because it isn't really an appointment that you have to make. So no, you do not need to meet with an advisor. Again, I would encourage all of you, you'll get an email from a program director to attend a webinar in the next few weeks that'll go over, this is what the degree program requires. Here's a recommendation I have for incoming new students. Here's the things that you need to think about, information about specific courses. They'll go over all of the detail in those sessions. And so, once you have answered all of your questions and you've gone out, followed the procedures that Corina so artfully talked about earlier in this webinar, and go out to the right tile, you can go ahead and put classes into your cart. You can't act on it until you have the slated time to act on it. You can't hit the enroll button, but you can do a lot of your legwork early, and we encourage you to do that. So no, you do not need to meet with anybody to do that. You can go ahead and do that on your own when you are ready. The other thing that I would keep in mind for all of you, degree program questions and course questions are really best suited when they're given to your program director and your academic support coordinator, your program manager. You're going to know who those people are because they are the ones that send you a lot of email. And so those are people you want to get to know. If you're having an issue with the challenges, the mechanics of enrolling in a course, or some kind of hold or some other kind of issue, that's when you reach out to an academic advisor in our advising operation. That would be a good time to do that.
So I went ahead and shared a page on the advising website. When you go to students advising, you get here, and then if you press contact, you'll end up here and you can select graduate and your program, and you can see who the graduate advisors are as well as your program director and program manager. So I want to make sure everybody knows how to find that.
And that's also on their degree program webpage too.
Our next question is, if I am a full-time student, can I do 4 courses, and is it possible to finish the MS degree in a year?
Yes, it is possible. It is absolutely possible to finish in a year, but that means with the MAS 6102 program prerequisite course, you would need to take 4 courses plus that 1 credit hour your first semester. You would need to take 4 courses the second semester. You would need to take 4 courses the next semester. So it is possible. But having said that, there are some upsides to doing that financially, because the more courses you take in a semester, the less you pay per credit hour. But the downsides are you really don't leave any room for practical training or internships. And oftentimes that can be a big key in terms of how you get placed after graduation. Internships are a great stepping stone into a company to test them out, them test you out. And, more often than not, students get job offers from those internships. So you might save money and you'll save time, but you will also miss out on the opportunity to do other things during the degree program that might otherwise enhance your experience and your knowledge base, like student organizations or competitions, or engaging. You're going to be really, really, really busy with your classes.
How does the internship requirement for my degree work for students who are already working full-time?
You just need to reach out to your program director and have that conversation about how they handle that. Generally speaking, you can take another class, like a practicum or a capstone, in place of that.
What key advice do you give to individuals who are working full-time and studying part-time?
Oh, wow. What a great question. I think it is really, truly about not being a perfectionist. I think that a lot of times students, especially high achieving students that we attract into our programs, they are going to give up everything to get that 4.0. And a 4.0 is great. And if you're going to be pursuing a change in your full-time job to, say, a consulting group, maybe you want to go with McKinsey or Bain or BCG or something like that, then yeah, 4.0 is probably going to help you in that process. But don't put so much pressure on yourself to get, these really high grades in place of doing something else, like developing a network with a bunch of really good alumni. So I think that for a student who is working full-time, you have to be more careful in the selection of your courses and really take advantage of going back and looking at previous semesters' syllabi. Really understand the course load that you are taking on, and then think about your work. I mean, if you're in the accounting profession, you certainly don't want to take an overload of courses during tax season. So think about the cyclical nature of your job and avoid taking too many classes when things are rough. It is the hardest path to be fully employed, a part-time student, and maybe have little kids or newly married. That's a lot of pressure. But those students are very successful because they know how to optimize better than anybody. So I think it's about being organized, having really good time management. I think it means when you sit down to do something, you only touch it once. I went to a workshop many, many years ago on how to save time in a busy executive's day. And I learned a really important thing that I do when I approach all of my work. When I pick up a task, I do one of three things. I either do it right then, or I delegate it to somebody else. You can't delegate your coursework, obviously, or I delete it. But oftentimes the problem that students have when they're working full-time is that they go and look at something, they spend 20 or 30 minutes, and then they go, yikes, I can't do that right now. You got to really manage your time well so that you don't lose those windows when you can get a lot done and you have to go back and revisit things multiple times. So that's my best advice.
Our next question is the designated appointment time the same as the cannot register online hold on my account? Is the cannot register online hold something I need to email my academic advisor to get removed, or will it be removed automatically?
Corina, I'm giving you that one.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, so we are going to push out and we will release the cannot register online hold. We are working on that. There's still a little bit of time before you actually enroll in your classes, but we're going to either push back a hold for a document that you still need to submit, like an official transcript, but the cannot register online hold will be released. So you should see it go away probably within the next week.
Dr. Powell, our next question is, I am on an H-4 visa. I'm a resident. How many credit hours do I need to be considered full-time?
9 credit hours.
Thank you. And this next question is similar, but I'm not sure if we can answer, but I'll go ahead and ask. How many course credits do I have to enroll in to be eligible for financial aid?
Oh gosh, I think you have to be full-time, but I am not certain of that. You would need to reach out to the financial aid office and ask them that question.
And I went ahead and posted the financial aid office's email address for that individual so they can reach out. The next question is, how much is tuition? And do I pay tuition per semester or for the year?
Oh, wow. Good question. So tuition is paid one semester at a time. That academic calendar that we've showed you a couple of times, it has great information about when tuition is due. So you need to print it out every semester. I think the greatest heartbreak I have at the beginning of every semester is when a student didn't pay attention and then doesn't pay their tuition on time. Then they get dropped from all of their classes. Then they have to pay a fee to get reinstated. And then they're upset because they don't get the same classes back. So you want to pay your tuition on time according to the academic calendar. Tuition is based on the number of classes that you're taking per semester. So you need to go out to the Bursar's website and you can read all about and look at the tuition tables. Please note that you pay tuition and then you also pay school fees. So there are fees on top of tuition. So you need to scroll down below the chart and it all depends. There is an estimated calculator that is also available out there that can estimate your tuition based on the number of hours you're taking as well.
This next person has applied for scholarship and they're wondering when they will be notified about the scholarship decisions for spring 2022.
So the end date for when we plan to make decisions is really at the end of the first week of December. We have made some awards already. We'll continue to make awards periodically, but the bulk of the decisions won't be until the very end of the semester. I mean, the very end of December, what, 4th, 5th, or 6th, somewhere around there.
Perfect. Well, it looks like those are all the questions that we have received.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Norma. You know, I think I really want to encourage our students, our incoming new students who have chosen us, which we are really grateful for, to come and be a part of our graduate school here. We just have the best faculty. We have the best student groups, and you know, it's really amazing to just see students interact with each other. We have students from all over the world that are here and all over the United States. And it just creates this really cool dynamic. And I know that you're going to really enjoy being a part of that. But I would say to students, you know, we're coming off of, you know, having gone through 18, 20 months of a pandemic. And it is so terrific that you are, you know, rebounding off of all of the impact of the pandemic and looking to advance your career and your life. And you're coming here to do that. So we really want you to engage with us, get to know us, interact with us. I know it is going to be stressful to be in graduate school. It's not the same as it is undergrad. But the more you stay informed, the more that you manage your time, the more you pay attention to important emails and deadlines, the smoother it will be. You know, there's something about going to graduate school where you have this moment where this light bulb comes on and you're like, wow, you know, I thought I knew a whole lot of things, but boy, do I need to learn a whole lot more. And the program is going to provide you an opportunity to do that and to advance yourself. So thanks again for choosing us. We're going to send this webinar out in an email. So if you want to go back and watch it again, you'll have it. Please look for emails from your program director to attend those webinars coming up. And then let us know if you have any questions. There's great resources right there on the screen right now that you can reach out to ask questions. We're really committed to making the transition as easy as we can from either full employment to here or being fully employed and going to school full time or going to graduate school full time. We're here to help you make that happen. So thanks for joining us today. And thank you to Corina. Angela is with us, director of our undergraduate graduate advising office, and of course Norma, our backroom engineer. So thank you guys for all being here, and be in touch if we can help you in any way. We look forward to seeing you at orientation.